Shalom to you. This is Highlighter. I'm continuing. This is part 3 of the testimony. In the last testimony, I mentioned that at my conversion in 1997, that I had a vision that Israel surrounded on all sides, and I was tried and tested all this time by our Creator if that really happened or if it was just because of the drugs. And here is the news that Israel is surrounded and Yahweh is glorified because He told me the future. I would say about 4 or 5 times He's done that in various ways, that I would know that He is the one that's in control. Recently, I did a review on Batman movie, and in the Batman movie it has a question mark, and the question mark is exact same shape as Ukraine, the Ukraine map. And Yahweh showing to me the powers behind that, what was going on. But He's very great and awesome. So I know that Israel's surrounded by these armies because Yahweh's sovereign. He foretold that in the Bible. And when I got converted in 1997, I was tried and tested on that. And all these years, He continued to show to me that He could be trusted. The building just 2 blocks away is the building at this address here, 8th and Park Avenue, because the spider that bit Peter Parker and the spider that bit me has 8 legs, and Parker for Peter Parker's name. When I was a child, I was wanting to be like Spider-Man. I told Yahweh, I want to be like Spider-Man. I was probably about 9 years old, 10. That's in my last testimony, part 2. And the spider that bit Spider-Man just so happens to be a female black widow spider, like this. And it's a match to the city because the city has chosen to be Democrat, and the Democrat is mostly the left-hand path, and that's why you have these colors. Even my library card. This is New Mexico. When the vampire puts those fangs in and will bite you and infect you in your city, then you're going to take on the colors, the names, the numbers, the symbolism of the female black widow spider. It's a similitude of Inanna. This ministry is about that. It's about showing the spider, because when you see the spider, you see the enemy of Yahweh and the spirit at work, that you would know to become separated from that. Because those who have made their choices, whether they're government or church people, whoever they are, they've made their choice. And the best thing we can do as Christians and Netzarim is to respect their choice. That's their choice. And to be set apart, but not to be joined to them. We're not going to be praying with Roman Catholics. They are in very grave danger. But when they see that spider, many of them will praise our Maker that He sent His help to make things clear. So that building at this address right here is actually, if you Google it, you can do it right now, while we're looking, if you need to, it's 717 Central Avenue, Southwest, Albuquerque, New Mexico. And here it is right here in the Google. It's still in the Google Maps. So eventually, in the future, there will be no traces that that building had the design of the female black widow spider. That's going to be erased. I'm not interested in the reasons why they're changing it, and I think it's a good idea that they change things. But the spirit is in the city. It's in the people. And this is the condition. At the Tower of Babylon, we dispersed and went our way, and each one had their own gods. The building here has no traces of that, of the colors of the female black widow spider and the design. This business here, Tesla, if you see, it has the same thing, the broken cross. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, and a chevron. I showed before here, same thing. On the website, I'll have details to show that, because this is where I'm at, and this is the main work. So I'll have, as y'all leads, I'll have this information on the website. You see, a person without the blood of the Lamb, let's say that you do believe in Jesus, and you do have forgiveness, and you are washed by the blood of the Lamb, but your leader takes you on a different path. You can still have this on this right here. Will be on your leader, on your church, your business, whatever, because they believe, like for example, Tesla, he believes in Sophia. That's a form of Trinity, because it's a female deity. So when I say Trinity in number 8, Trinity is ambiguous to also mean not just a triad deity, but a female deity as well, or a spirit. So I'm here in Albuquerque alone, and I was on the streets, and when I came here, I would go to the coffee shop and do the work I'm trying to do. And I had Zeet seats on. I was wearing these. In my last video, I started to talk about that, but I was reluctant to talk about it. So I'm wearing my Zeet seats at a coffee shop, and there's a taxi driver outside the coffee shop, and he's looking and sees I have the Zeet seats. And when he seen that, he knew that we were of the same flock. And in the Bible it says it says it's good for the brothers to dwell together in unity. If I go to a group of people and they teach the Trinity, and they say that I don't need to come back no more, they kick me out, they reject me or whatever, like in the synagogues or wherever it's at, churches, you know, I've had them kick me out of there for wearing a kippah at church. They told me to leave because I was wearing a kippah. The Spirit manifests many ways, but Yahweh wants unity, but not unity with the spirit of the world. And the spirit of the world teaches Trinity in her number 8. So the taxi driver offered to give me a ride anywhere in the city that I needed to go, because he considered me as his brother in the spirit. And this is what Yahweh is very pleased with, that when we come together in unity, we are now able to serve each other, to help each other. And Yahweh's pleased with that. and I've seen it, and this is the life. So there's many different signs, you know, about why I believe that Yahweh sent me here, and my number one reason is that Albuquerque is a match to the female black widow spider. If I was to walk outside and take a bus stop at the art project, this is A-R-T. They're all over the city. You'll see the sign, it says art. On top of it is an 8-point star, like the one on the Pope Francis on his coat of arms. There's also 8-point star. The 8-point star also will trace you back to Inanna, Ishtar, the goddess of Babylon. So the art project has that 8-point star, and below it is right here, a chevron, a match to the female spider, a perfect match, because the spider has 8 legs and it has a chevron, and you can see that at the art project. But not just there, all over the city, particularly in the buildings, like I showed you this building here. That's what that was about. This building right here is 2 blocks away, right here at 8th and Park Avenue. That building, it was a match to the black widow spider until they gave it a paint job. Businesses, the government, and all the cities have the same idol. So when somebody asks why do I think that I'm here, it's because Albuquerque is a match to the female black widow spider in many different ways, like I showed with these things here, the colors. The politicians I've seen covered with these colors, but not just this city, in many different cities, and I've already did a video on that. But Yahweh's sovereign. He's the one who does it, and I don't give anybody credit, and I'm not mad at nobody. I'm not accusing people of doing these things on purpose, because Yahweh's the one who dresses the nations. Just like he does the birds in the fields. He gives them food. He clothes them. He gives us clothes. He is sovereign. Our thoughts, he has control of all of it. And this is an important part of the ministry, to share his sovereignty. So this is my number one reason, is that the city is a match to the female black widow spider, and so is the drug meth. Spider in Hebrew is samamet, and it's the Hebrew letters M-I-T, 3-letter root, M-I-T, meth. And you find that in the words for meth, M-E-T-H, meth. And meth in Hebrew, it means death. The spider means death, to make desolate. And right now in the churches that they're dancing around and doing their different things in churches is the image of this right here, the spider, which means death, and it means to make desolate. It's when I see that in the churches, it's allegory to the abomination of desolations, because they're in the set apart place and they're setting up the idol to be worshipped. And the next video is called Ion 8 number 4. You would want to see 1, 2, 3, those videos. I'm showing the idol in the church, and it's very clear what they're doing. So as I'm living here, Yahweh continues to perform miracles, to encourage me, to let me know I'm on the right path. And it's our testimonies. We can pull out the testimonies of Yahweh anytime we have a problem with our faith. Just go to your testimony and you'll find the solution. of course, you'll check in the words, in the Bible. But our testimonies are very powerful. When the enemy comes to you in your thoughts, and you're challenged, and you have doubts, you go to your testimonies. So I'm at the Italian market a few years back when I just got here, and somehow I met somebody. We talked on the phone. We agreed to meet together because he is a teacher of Bujinkan. And Bujinkan is a martial art of the ninja that in my testimony, part 2, I mentioned this. That's what led me to Tibetan Buddhism. And I left all these things alone. Even the Bujinkan stuff, I left alone. But I called him because I reconsidered maybe to train, because he offered to teach me for free. And he's in Rio Rancho. His name is Chris. And he came all the way, and we sit down at the Italian market and talked. And I praise our Maker because he's a Christian. And he told me that he believes in the Bible, he's a Christian, and that he teaches a martial art, but he does not teach the religious aspect. Because he knew there's something evil there, something that's not right. And so what he did was left that part out. And Yahweh's glorified greatly that he put us together just to meet. That one time he sent to me to encourage me and to strengthen me. Because when you're going through life, this is a testimony that I'm giving from the perspective of a messenger, and so the testimonies it reflects the works of our Maker in the lives of messengers, which they walk alone. There are different types of messengers, but typically, we're all alone, of course, but I hope you know what I mean. But he sent encouragement, and that's really great that he did that. The details I'll give in a different time, but it's just really awesome, the things of our Maker. And I don't know about sitting here and sharing testimonies a lot. There's so many to share, and I just started learning how to make videos and things. When I was in Mexico, around the year 2000, I met somebody online, and he gave me the phone number, and the phone number I put in my email, and he said he's from Albuquerque. And so a few years back, when I'm here in the streets, I'm homeless, and I'm trying to find my way through the city, and I remember there's somebody in Albuquerque. In my phone, or in my email, I had the phone number. So I go to check my email address, or my email, and there is the phone number, and his nickname is called out. So I called him up and talked to him, and he tells me to go to a place called the Olive Tree. And so I went there, and that's where I met one believer who is a Netzarim, and I identify with a Netzarim. And the Olive Tree, they believe in Trinity. I don't believe in Trinity. And so this one person, we agreed, and Yahweh did that to put us together, even just briefly, but still it's our Father's done that, and He's praised to send His help. And it's a really great miracle, because that email had that phone number in there for over 20 years. And Yahweh gave it to me at the right time. And these are just many works that He gives to us, that we would know that He loves us and He cares for us. That time and space, He owns it all. It does not affect Him. I think I'll give one more testimony, because it's about Albuquerque, and it's about my hope. My hope is not in anything material. And Spider-Man is not here to entertain people, even though it can be entertaining. It's a delivery system, and I chose that. Yahweh gave me a choice what to choose. He picked everything out, but I had to think, what is the main thing that Yahweh's done to me in all my life that I think that I should share? Me and my sister was on top of a house, and there were dead spiders on top of the house, and there were dead lizards, iguanas. And now Yahweh shows to me the allegory of the war between two different species in the spiritual layer. I don't understand who it refers to, but this world believes in lizard people. I don't know the truth about that. I don't follow that data, and I don't understand it. If Yahweh's going to give to me that, then I'll understand. But I remember that my encounters with the spider was the first time when I was about 10 years old, maybe about 10, 12. And we were on top of that house, and there were dead spiders everywhere and lizards. So the things that Yahweh's done are very great, and He's given me a way to express His powers and to express His glory of what He's doing and the things today that relates to the female black widow spider. So I'm in Albuquerque, and I go to the Walmart, and I pick up this here toy of a baby, and I have it in my bag, and I'm looking at a church. It's called the church, because I've been there one time before as a guest, and I felt lonely, and I wanted to. I'm on the outside, because this is what the watchmen do. This is what the messengers do. Those in the prophetic gifts are on the outside, protecting and looking and watching, and we have a desire to join the body, but we can't, because we have to do it the way Yahweh leads. But I walk in because I question our Father, if I can go in and talk to them and visit. So I have my plastic bag with the baby Spider-Man, and I walk in, and lo and behold, they're having a baby shower. They were having a baby shower, and I have a toy baby in my bag, and there's no coincidences, but there is the powers of our Creator who does these things. In my mind, I'm thinking, what about my baby? My baby needs blessings too, because I bought the baby for Yahweh's purpose, because He was telling me to take this baby and put it on my back like a backpack and carry it around. I didn't understand why, but I did it. And in one of my videos, testimony videos, where I'm lost in the volcano, that's the first video I put this backpack on. And then a couple months ago, I see a commercial for a Spider-Man movie, and he's wearing a backpack he's got a baby Spider-Man. This is a personal relationship with our Maker that is very awesome and powerful, and He is the one who done that. I trusted Him, and I didn't know what I was doing, I went to the baby shower, and there they are having a baby shower. I didn't talk to them. I sat there, observed, and I left, as it should be, because I'm taught not to show myself of anything importance in the presence of my brothers. And my true brother, I sat at his feet so that he would know that I have no interest and no intentions to put myself above my brother. In the same way, in the spiritual layer, is I know not to appear to be anything great in the presence of my brothers, because Yahweh is the one who's great, and He is the one who needs to be seen, and His Messiah through us in our works that He does. So I bought the baby Spider-Man. I went to church. They had a baby shower, and later I'm carrying on my backpack, not knowing what to do or why, just being obedient. And then I seen the trailer for Spider-Man, and Yahweh's glory had been seen. And see, when these things happen, a person has a dividing line. You have to believe, is it narcissistic? Is it a narcissistic behavior where you think it's all about you? And your other choice is you're in the presence of Yahweh, your creator, who is doing these things, and you are seeing the spiritual layer, and you're seeing His works doing these things. That's your choice. Either a narcissistic vampire, which is part of our sin nature, or it's the power of our Maker. And I chose that. All of my life I've been tried and I've been trained by our Maker to know the difference between the two, between being selfish and to show out narcissistic and his power. Because Lucifer means to make a show, to show out, to the word pride, to celebrate. That's the difference between Yahweh's kingdom, is you have one that's shiny and the other one is modest and humble. And my work is to express both kingdoms, but to highlight and to illustrate the works of the darkness, that you would see the difference. One of them makes a big show. I'll give you an example. Rock concerts, pride parades, LGBT plus community, they do the pride parades, they're out there making a show. It can be natural and unnatural, because Yahweh, I believe He likes for us to express our own self-expression. But then there's crossing boundaries and going too far with things. So Yahweh has done many great things for all of us. And these details, I will save the details for some other time to write articles. I have folders here, a lot of things to share, and don't know how far I'll get. When I got off the streets just a couple years ago, after I got off the streets, and then I got on the Breaking Bad tour, and then Yahweh showed to me His love and power, that He could do that. He could deliver me from drugs, as in the past, from any kind of problem. I'm in Springfield, Missouri, and I went to a self-sustained community, and there was a cult spirit going on in the community. And one day I told him, just drop me off downtown Springfield. So he dropped me off downtown, and I had 3 big totes. I'm not trying to speak highly of myself, but I want to tell you, it took courage to do that. And it took complete trust in our Creator. In a strange land I've never been there before. Now they're going to drop me off downtown with 3 big totes, and I'm by myself. But I did. But I had some skills with me to spin fire, so I had a way to feed myself. But that was part of the journey. But so I'm down there with these 3 totes downtown, not knowing what to do. 10, 15, 20 minutes later, next thing I know, I got the stuff in the storage, and I'm going to another place where they have these sticks. They give me some sticks, and I make these sticks, and I make fire spinning sticks and swords. So now I'm downtown during the festivals on the weekends in Springfield, Missouri, downtown. They're all having a party and stuff, and now I'm doing fire stuff, spinning, because Yahweh is taking care of his servants. Even though they dropped me off downtown with those 3 big totes, Yahweh provided a way. And so that's been my experience, that no matter where Yahweh sends me, no matter what trouble I get into, it does not matter your gifts. As long as you're his servant, he will take care of you. His works are very awesome. When I learn how to do this better, then the next person who hears this will get a better version of what I'm trying to share. Because right now we cannot trust anybody but Yahweh. Cursed is man who trusts in man and makes his flesh his strength. But blessed is man who trusts in Yahweh and whose hope is in him. That's Jeremiah 17:5 and 7. That scripture has helped me for a long time, because when we solve problems, we don't need to use our own flesh. We trust in him. That includes our leaders. Don't care who the leader is. Me, you, your church pastor, or whoever they are. We put our trust in Yahweh, who is a spirit. By his spirit, we will know. And that's what we trust in. When we go to church, we go there for one reason. Because we trust that Yahweh has sent you there to that church. We trust that Yahweh has provided you with a good teacher. That's why we listen to the teacher, not because we trust the teacher, but because we trust that Yahweh has put that teacher in your life. And so now you honor Yahweh by being submissive to your teachers, your leaders, and such. But ultimately, we know that Yahweh is our hope, because right now, this is what's trending right now, is that our leaders are laying with Inanna. And Inanna is a similitude of the female black rose spider. In the next video I'm working on, Ion 8 number 4, I'm going to give you some examples to show that this is witchcraft. Trinity and the number 8. 3, 8, and 3. I've already revealed it, that's a match to the constellation of Taurus. Yahweh is very awesome and mighty to show it to me. And that's the constellation of Taurus. That's what's wrong right now with the majority, is that the form of worship and of Satanism and worship of Lucifer is through Baal worship, as it was in the past. That's the most common form of worship in Lucifer that I have noticed that Yahweh revealed to me, is Baal worship. And Yahweh is glorified because he showed me, I looked up in the sky and I seen 8 and 3 that matches this spider. I don't want to speak too much more, because It's about me, but what Yahweh's done to me, and I don't know how to speak about those things much. Maybe in the future, if I stand up, I'll do better. His testimonies are great, so when you have trouble, you go to your scriptures and you go to your testimonies. I want to tell you right now, I'm very confident, not arrogant, not prideful, but I am very certain, I've already seen it, that my testimony of Tibetan Buddhism is breaking things. I'll give you an example. You take something from Yahweh and you put it up against the enemy, only one of them will be left standing. And it's Yahweh's kingdom. Through Tibetan Buddhism, I've learned many, many things. The most important was the spirit of the world that I was mixed up in with Tibetan Buddhism. And it's easy to recognize now the spirit of the world because Yahweh had did that to me to put me through Tibetan Buddhism. And so now I know. I'll give you one example. When you're watching a commercial on TV, and it's a car commercial, and they mention something about karma, K-A-R-M-A, karma. Karma has nothing to do with cars. This is closer to karma than the car. Because karma means action, but in the Buddhist teachings, that karma, as you go through life, you add to it, whether it's good or bad, and it gets full. And you're carrying this bag of karma around. And eventually you have to spend it. But I'm not here to teach you Buddhism. I'm here to show to you the spirit of the world, that the car company is using the term karma, a Buddhist term, because they are inclusive, they agree. So when your church pastors, when they do the same thing, and they import something of the world into them, you're doing this right here. You're shaking hands with the spirit of the world, and the spirit of the world is led by Inanna. That's Nero Caesar, the red spider. This spirit was ruling back then and is ruling right now. It's very awesome what Yahweh is doing to show and to illustrate this spirit. When you look up Caesar Nero and you look at the old name or his original birth name versus the new name, and you look at the etymology, you'll see one of them matches this spider right there. Lucius, which is Lucifer, a reference to Lucifer, the red spider. I have no doubts, no more, about what our Creator can do and will do. He woke me up from a coma, and He gave me a second chance. And many times more. So I pray that this will bless you, and I pray that I'll get better at sharing the things He does, because people are without hope. They think Jesus is a myth. Man. But we can't prove. You see, we can't prove things. It's a matter of faith. Do you believe? I say a lot of times, we can prove this, we can prove that. It's like, well, no, you can't really. It's the Spirit of Yahweh that does the proving. He alone will open your eyes to see that He has done it. For me and my testimonies, I know that Jesus Christ is not a myth, but I also know that His real name is Yahshua, and I honor Him by the name of Yahshua. Here's my question to people. I don't deny Jesus Christ, but do you deny Jesus? But do you deny Yahshua? I don't deny either one of them, but do you deny Yahshua? Many Christians have different understanding, and everybody has their own, it's culture. Really, the answer is culture. And some of our Christian friends and brothers, they are taught that there's only one name, which is Jesus, to use, and that the Hebrew names do not matter. But that's your choices on what you believe. And as with all things, you have to see the data. You have to see more and more in order to understand. Because right now we have Freemasons in our churches, and they are a perfect match to that female black widow spider. They are the ones that are performing witchcraft in our churches. Freemasons, Knights Templars, Jesuits. These 3 videos on a testimony is going to be useful to those who Yahweh selects, and that's the only ones who are of the interest, my interest and His interest. Those here in Albuquerque, the leaders I talk to, I will tell you everything that you need. I will give you the best that Yahweh's given to me to share, because He has prepared this life that I'm living for being here. It was my pleasure to see this building match up at this address that matches Peter Parker and the spider that bit him. It's very awesome. And yes, I already told my testimony, my encounter with spiders, but it's very pleasurable to see His glory. But you see, it's not for me. It's for you who live here in this city, that you would see and to know that nothing can withstand the blood of the Lamb. The drugs, prison, none of those things. Yahweh has His promises, and He will keep His promises, and you can trust Him. Blessed be the name of Yahshua HaMashiach, our Messiah, who laid down His life for us, who rose on the 7th day, because in the Catholic Church, they believe Jesus Christ, they call Him Jesus Christ, and they say that He rose on the 8th day, and He's part of a Trinity, is a match to the female black widow spider. Because Yahweh is very awesome and very great, and He wants us to see, and He's given people time to see. Because the powers in the world right now are against His kingdom, and He's given us a chance to see. May this work bless you, and follow the data. You have a chance. I've given the information on Rumble and worldwidewidow.com. And the real spider to this, the picture is trinityisdark.com. Shalom to you.